video, we're going to talk about this new Galaxy S10 and while I think it is an epic fail on Samsung's part. So let's get into it. Samsung just has released this or announced this new Galaxy S10 series of phones. So I think there's 4 different models, and of course there is the cheap model and kind of a step up from each of the base models. So the base model, you get like 2 rear cameras, and you still get the hole punch display, and you get kind of a downgrade in the fingerprint scanner. And of course each model costs more than the last, and you get a little bit more with each model. So you're either getting the additional camera or a larger battery, and of course after you get past the base model, I believe it's the E, you get the in-screen fingerprint scanner. Now, why do I think that this is a fail on Samsung's part? Well, it's because there's nothing really new here. Usually these Galaxy phones bring something kind of new to the table, or they offer some kind of new feature, and you're just not getting that with these. So I think that they really dropped the ball in that respect.
Well, Frieza, looks like you dropped the ball.
I mean, the hole punch display, their infinity display, they're really trying to market that as something innovative. But really, I mean, if you look at this screen, there's nothing really gained by having the reduced bezel into a hole punch display. You can't do anything with that real estate above the hole punch, and it just kind of interferes with whatever you're seeing on the screen. In my opinion, it would be much better to just have the bezel around the phone instead of having a black dot on your screen whenever you're viewing content. And then of course the larger phones have the dual camera set up on the front, and the hole is even bigger. So I don't understand how that's better than just having a bezel. And they're not the first ones to do it. Was it Huawei or Honor maybe? I forget which one, but they introduced the hole punch display. And the same thing with the power share, the wireless charging from the phone. That's also been done before. And people are making a big deal about that, and I don't really get why. I mean, it's nothing that crazy, I don't think. And plus, they're getting a lot of support still for the headphone jack. Early on, whenever people were first trying to eliminate the headphone jack, I could see why that would be a big deal. I mean, you're still trying to adapt to not having it, but this far along in the game, I think it's time that we kind of let that go. You should have USB-C or Bluetooth headphones by now, and if you don't, well, it's time to get with the new age. So I really feel like they're lacking. I mean, Samsung, the UI, I mean, whatever you want to think about it, it's either you like it or you don't. I'm not a fan of it, and the really kind of cartoony feel that their icons and stuff have, it's just not something I'm really into. And they've improved a little bit with this newer phone as far as the UI goes, usability and all that, but it's still just not enough. Aside from the negative things and how I think that they're lacking, I do think that there are some improvements that I actually do like, mainly the in-screen fingerprint scanner. I have been using an iPhone for the last little bit, past few months. Actually, I've been using the iPhone in combination with an iPad just for YouTube purposes. Just the integration's easier, but I think having the in-screen fingerprint scanner would be kind of nice. And it's the ultrasonic. From what I've seen in other videos, it looks like it works really well. I would have to test it out for myself, of course, to get a better opinion of that. But I think that's kind of neat. And again, they're not the first to do that. And that may be, honestly, that may be about the only thing good about the phone. It's just something that's the most unique thing that this phone offers, in my opinion. I think that the hole punch display is just ridiculous. So and the fact that they are still trying to push the boundaries of how much people are willing to pay for these phones. Even the cheapest, most, I don't know, consumer-based or targeted phone is still ridiculous. Was it like almost $800 for the cheapest model? And it's really, I think, unfortunately, is going to be the model that a lot of people go for because it's cheaper, and the fingerprint scanner on the button, on the power button, is kind of lame, I think. And the fact that these phones still have the dedicated Bixby button is garbage. I had the S8, and I've seen people with the Note 9s and all that, and they all say the Bixby button sucks. I think that the Bixby button is silly. I have seen some things that it can be remapped. Even still, I think it's pointless to have a dedicated button specifically for a voice assistant. That's one thing about the iPhone. They've integrated the power button as the voice assistant, and I don't see the need to have an additional button to do something that silly. So anyway, I just want to make this video because it's been a while since I made any kind of tech video, and there's not been really a whole lot to talk about in the tech world. So anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. Comment below, let me know what you think about the new S10. If you plan on getting one, I'd like to know why and what your reason is behind it. So if you can change my mind, please feel free to try that. I will not be getting this. I have no desire to get a Galaxy phone. I've had plenty in the past, and I'm always disappointed a few months in, not to mention how long it takes to get the latest version of Android on the Galaxy phones. So anyway, hope you like this video, and if you're thinking about getting the phone, don't let me stop you. I just think that you're kind of overpaying and they're under delivering. So until next time, be easy.